Hi, so it's Satoe. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm making the video today. Actually, I want to share one question and how do I answer about this question. In the past, many people asked me this question many times, but I feel it's good to share on YouTube. So maybe you might have the same question right now when you're practicing Reiki. I hope this information helps, and I hope that your Reiki, the practice Reiki, will be more useful, helpful to you. Yeah. So what is the question? So sometimes people ask me, does Reiki still work even people don't believe? Yeah, some people don't believe Reiki, they don't like Reiki, or they just don't understand what's Reiki. And then in that case, am I still able to work on that person? Yeah, so my answer about this is yes, you can still work on that. Yeah, but before the more explanation, actually, I want to share one episode from recent Zoom group Reiki practice. So I usually doing many Zoom group Reiki practice with my Reiki students. Welcome if you have learned Usui Reiki before in the past, you receive achievement. Then you can also join our Zoom group Reiki practice sessions. And then in that session, it is so funny to see sometimes their pets, my student pets at home, they will appear on the screen. Yeah. And then more I observe, it seems once we start practicing, they'll be more closer to us. Yeah. So what happened to them? Like if we are not practicing, they are getting far, and then sometimes we practice, and then the animals is really getting closer to you. Seems that they also like our Reiki. Yeah, it is so funny to see that like a pet actually can sense that Reiki is flowing. So this is the proof that Reiki will flow if needed. Yeah, without any belief. Yeah, unlike people, animals or plants or even objects, they don't have any belief. Yeah, they have no thought like humans. But they just naturally absorbing Reiki energy, and then Reiki energy naturally working on that situation. Yeah. So when you observe your pets, it is so interesting to see. Even you don't have to use your hands touching the pet, because since animals are so sensitive, so you are in the room and then start to practice your self-healing or breathing technique, or even sometimes you do the distance Reiki on somebody. But the animals, if they are in the same room with you, or even they will come to your room, yeah, they want to get closer. Yeah. I also have my cats at home, so they really love Reiki. I do a lot of experiment on the pets, like using the Reiki, and then they feel comfortable. And then I can also see their face also changing like people. Yeah, you can try. If you have pets at home, you can try. But what I want to tell you, even the pets, they are reacting that Reiki is flowing, yeah, around us. Yeah. Seems that once we start practicing Reiki, so the energy is kind of increasing in the room. So sometimes the people or even the animals or even the object in the same room, they quickly react that they are absorbing Reiki. Yeah. So like this way, human, even they don't know or they don't believe Reiki, it's okay. You can still work on them. Yeah. But I think some of them asking these questions, they might have another question, such as because they don't like to receive or they don't think it's working. So they will say to you like, no thanks, I'm okay, I'm fine. So what should I do next? Yeah. I also have experience like this before in the past. So what happened to me? Like I feel very frustrated. Yeah, sometimes I look at the people, they are in trouble, they are in pain, or I feel like I want to help something. Yeah, I want to help them to do something. And then the next idea was, okay, so why not? I can practice Reiki on you. But sometimes even the people don't know about Reiki or they don't understand what is this. And then it took too long to explain about Reiki. Yeah, and then after you explain, maybe people also won't get this idea, right? Um, now, why I practice Reiki on somebody, I imagine, I understand like this way, because I also want to, I want to practice Reiki. Yeah, I have worries, emotion on somebody. For example, I'm worried about someone. I think I should practice Reiki now because I understand that if I do distance Reiki on somebody, who receiving Reiki is not just that person, but I'm also receiving. Yeah. Usually, once I started distance Reiki and almost finishing my distance Reiki, I feel relaxed, I feel calm. Yeah, so it's almost happening in the all different levels. Sometimes physically quite comfortable, emotionally I find it less worry and even uplifted, and then mind level, so my way of thinking can change as well. So I don't have to worry too much about that person, and then my way of thinking seems that it's really getting lighter. I can shift myself very quickly. Yeah, but if I don't practice Reiki for a long time, and then I'm kind of a stuck idea too long, feel that my attachment cannot really let go, and then I feel like a dead end, like I have no way to progress. Yeah. But once I start practicing Reiki, my idea is changing, my face may be changing, and then my emotion also changing positively as well. So I totally convinced myself this is what I needed. It's not really I helping people, or sometimes people thought that I'm changing someone, but actually it doesn't happen like that way, because every people, every creatures need Reiki, and then we should think that Reiki is working already with you. But sometimes if you feel stuck, like you don't know what to do, then maybe we doubt that our self-healing ability is not working well at the moment. So then now is the time for you to practice Reiki to increase your flow, or maybe Reiki flow going to be start again. Yeah, so that's what I imagine. Yeah. So yes, you can practice Reiki on somebody. Yeah, I experienced many times like that, and then what happened to me and that person. So I can also share more story about after I send distance Reiki. So usually I don't tell about I'm saying distance Reiki to you. Yeah, if I feel I don't need it, I don't tell them. Yeah, I just secretly practice because this is for my own purpose. Yeah. But of course, I try to get more communication with others. So sometimes I call them, or yeah, I just start conversation. How are you doing? Yeah, usually I do that. And then I quickly notice that, so what is their emotion on, and then what is your physical level? If I still feel that needed, so I just try. I try practice Reiki continuously. So I do this kind of feedback, getting feedback and then back on my practice and then send again. So usually I repeat several times. Yeah. And then people really gradually changing. Yeah. So I want to say one word. Distance Reiki can help people, but I think this is also trusting people. Yeah, trust people's ability to heal. We all have ability to heal. We are not really forcing them to change, or I convince them to have to do that. No, but I have witnessed that our healing ability is raising. Yeah, everybody have this ability to heal, and then once you send distance Reiki, their Reiki energy is increasing. The Reiki energy originally we have with our body already. So we are just assisting their energy flow. Yeah. So I'm really happy to practice distance Reiki every day. And then sometimes I have received a lot of positive feedback from my students, or sometimes from my clients. But if you find it is, I'm not sure, am I okay to practice like that? Or yeah, so sometimes you don't know what to do next, then you can ask me anytime. And then if I have something to share with you, so I'm going to share with you again on YouTube. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me, leave the comment below. Yeah, or yeah, you can send me message, but I think it's good to share about the questions. And then Reiki is about sensation. So every time I repeat again, Reiki is not just by thinking, because if you try to understand by just thinking, it's sometimes very hard, because Reiki should have some actual sensation that you can only get by your actual practice. So I highly recommend you to go to your practice, maybe with your teacher, or you can come to our Zoom group Reiki, or if you are in Hong Kong, you can come to my practice. If you are in Canada, you can also go to nursing practice, but you should have some practice and then some group practice, which is really helpful. Yeah, so yeah, you can check more details about the sessions in our the comment section, so you can check the details later. That's it for today. I hope this information helps. Yeah, and then please practice more Reiki and spend a happy life. Okay, so thank you and goodbye. See you next time.